Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the top 10 best hummingbird feeder that are available on the market for their true quality.
I made this list based in my personal opinion and hours of research and have listed them based on popularity, quality, price, durability, user opinions and more. If you want to see more information in the updated price, you can check out the description below and also make sure subscribe for more reviews. Okay, so let's get started with the video.
Starting at number 10, we have the More Birds Bird Health Plus Ruby Hummingbird Feeder. If you want to attract hummingbirds, keep it simple, said Stephanie Green, an ecologist at the Strawberry Plains Audubon Center in Holly Springs, Mississippi. You can have all the fun in the world using an inexpensive feeder, as long as you clean it and fill it. Keep things even more cost-effective by making your own nectar at home using sugar and water rather than purchasing a commercial version. And skip adding red dye to the mixture. According to Green, it can be harmful to birds. The affordable More Birds Bird Health Plus Ruby Feeder is a basic 8.75-inch long glass tube feeder with a body and mouth that are wide enough to accommodate a bottle brush easily. The 10-ounce feeder has a BPA-free plastic red top and base, and the latter has an outer ring for comfortable perching. It also has 4 bee guard feeding ports with white flowers and a built-in ant moat for discouraging insects. It's easy to fill and clean the tube, just unscrew it from the base. Moving on at number 9, we have the More Birds Diamond Health Hummingbird Feeders for outdoors. If you have so many hummers buzzing around your yard that you have to refill your feeder's nectar daily, a large capacity bottle can help minimize your work. Just be aware that hummingbirds are very territorial and may squabble over who has access to the feeding ports on a single bottle. You will attract more hummingbirds that can feed with fewer disruptions if you place several small feeders around your yard rather than just one large feeder, said Grant. The More Birds Bird Health Diamond Hummingbird Feeder is similar to the budget Ruby feeder. Like that design, the Diamond has an easy-to-clean glass bottle, a BPA-free plastic red top and base, and a built-in ant moat and perch. But the Diamond is significantly larger, with a 10.75 by 8-inch spiral tube that holds 30 ounces of nectar to feed a lot of hummingbirds at 5 white-flowered bee guard feeding ports. At number 8, we have the Aspec's HummZinger HighView 12 ounces hanging hummingbird feeder. There are a wide variety of hummingbird feeder designs, and according to our experts, the birds don't have a preference when it comes to a feeder's material or shape. What matters most is the color of the feeder. Hummingbirds are attracted to red because flowers pollinated by hummingbirds are often red, said Holly Grant, Nestwatch project assistant at the Cornell Lab of Ornithology in Ithaca, New York. Because wasps and bees are attracted to the color yellow, avoid feeders that have yellow ports, guards, or flowers, she said. Aside from that, our experts say that choosing a feeder that is easy to take apart and thoroughly clean is more important than its aesthetics. The Plastic Aspects HummZinger HighView Hummingbird Feeder meets our criteria for a great feeder. It is a cinch to fill and clean. The 7.75-inch diameter saucer feeder has a clear dish that detaches from the bright red cover, and neither piece has nooks and crannies that are challenging to clean. A perch wraps around the circumference of the 12-ounce feeder, and the cover has 4 raised, red flower-shaped feeding ports. An ant moat built into the base can be filled with water to keep crawling insects out of the nectar. This feeder can be hung from its brass hook or mounted to a post. At number 7, we have the Aspec's 407 Jewel Box Window Hummingbird Feeder. A window feeder gives birdwatchers a close-up view of their feathered friends without a window feeder gives birdwatchers a close-up view of their feathered friends without disturbing their meal. Hummingbirds are unusually fearless and come readily to window feeders, said Grant. She recommends placing feeders in the coolest areas where there is some wind protection. Green said that, although in her experience hummingbirds are a little less attracted to feeders hung in the shade, keeping your feeder out of the sun will prevent its nectar from quickly spoiling. The half-moon-shaped Aspec's Jewel Box Window Hummingbird Feeder is a drip and leak-proof saucer that attaches to a window with 2 plastic suction cups. The hinged red lid with 3 feeding ports and a perch along the edge opens wide for easy filling and cleaning. An optional ant moat is included. The 6 by 8.5 by 2.2 inch jewel box holds up to 8 ounces of nectar and comes with a lifetime guarantee. At number 6, we have the cuboid Hummingbird Feeder. Dish feeders, or saucer feeders, are good for a 360-degree view of feeding. Since sometimes it's hard to see a bird that's behind a bottle, said Green. Most hummingbird feeders of both the saucer and tube varieties come with ant moats, which are water basins that discourage crawling insects from getting into the sweet, sticky nectar. If you need more protection against bugs, Grant recommends putting a dab of petroleum jelly on the hanging wire. Just make sure that it is far enough from the feeding birds that it won't accidentally get on their feathers. The Sherwood-based cuboid hummingbird feeder is a versatile saucer feeder that can be hung from chains linked to its 4 corners or attached to a window using suction cups. Its red lid has 5 B-guard feeding ports and detaches entirely from the base for cleaning. The 7.7 by 6.1 by 1.77 inch saucer holds up to 8 ounces of nectar and is bordered by a built-in ant moat. The 2-in-1 also comes with a tiny feeder hole brush, a lifetime warranty, and a 30-day money-back guarantee with no questions asked. At number 5, we have the Perky-Pet 204 CP4 favored pinch-waist glass hummingbird feeder. The feeder is made up of lots of small parts that might be difficult to keep track of and reassemble when you're cleaning it. A quality hummingbird feeder has several functions. It should be easy to take apart, clean, and refill. Hummingbirds should be able to relish on nectar in peace at a welcoming feeder. The red coloring on Perky-Pet's pinch-waist feeder attracts hummers, and the bee guards keep the nectar supply insect-free. While this is our top pick, 16 ounces is a smaller capacity than the reservoirs of a lot of other feeders on this list, but since it's important to clean feeders often, a smaller feeder can mean less wasted nectar when it's time for a wash. With a wide opening and unscrewable base, the body of this feeder is easy to clean. But the bee guards and individual ports are small and detachable, so you'll need to keep a close eye on them when you're deep cleaning. At number 4, we have the First Nature Hummingbird Feeder. This plastic feeder is very plain, so while it gets the job done, it's not the prettiest pick on the list. If this is your first time purchasing a hummingbird feeder and you're on a budget, this affordable, leak-free First Nature feeder is a great option. The 16-ounce plastic reservoir has a broad opening, which makes nectar refills quick and painless, and a 2-component base that unscrews from the reservoir so it's easy to clean. 10 flower-shaped feeding ports allow plenty of room for hummingbirds to feed happily. A 360-degree perch allows birds to land from any angle. This plastic budget feeder is complete with an S-hook for simple installation on a tree or wherever your heart desires. Available in a bright red hue, hummingbirds will flock to this feeder and begin to recognize it over time. Note that this hummingbird feeder isn't dishwasher safe, but the relatively few pieces mean it shouldn't take long to clean. This new style was recently updated with narrow bee and wasp slots on the ant moat, rather than holes. Previously, it had one large hole at each feeding port. With the change, bees will move on and let hummingbirds feed in peace. At number 3, we have the Juegoal 12 ounces hanging hummingbird feeder. With a max capacity of only 12 ounces, you'll need to fill this particular feeder up regularly. Juegoal's hanging hummingbird saucer feeder features 8 feeding ports and holds 12 ounces of nectar. A built-in ant moat defends from unwanted insects and protects the nectar supply while supplying a hummingbird perch. With a bronze hanging rod opening, this plastic feeder can be hung on a hook or directly on a tree. The removable top makes cleaning and refilling a breeze. Despite the numerous feeding ports, hummingbirds can still become territorial, so it's not a bad idea to place numerous feeders throughout your yard. Typically, saucer-style hummingbird feeders are the easiest to clean. When selecting the perfect hummingbird feeder for your needs, maintenance is an important factor to consider. Remember, hummingbird feeders require bi-weekly, sometimes daily, cleaning. At number 2, we have the Perky-Pet 710B Elegant Glass Hummingbird Feeder. Unlike plastic and glass, copper will show weathering over time. so you might want to take this feeder in during colder months or keep it shielded from rain. Perky-Pet created this 12-ounce feeder with style and functionality in mind. With a metal lid, clear glass reservoir, and brushed copper finish, this feeder doesn't follow the usual red and yellow color theme. Metal frames also provide Hummingbird feeders with the most stability. As with any feeder with metal components, this feeder might rust over time, so it might be a good pick for a covered porch, rather than leaving it exposed to rain. A wide mouth opening makes for easy refills, and the base disassembles into multiple pieces for simple cleaning. Each of the 4 feeding ports has a red flower with built-in bee guards to draw birds in and a 360-degree perch for birds to serenely sip nectar. And finally, at number 1, we have the Muse Garden Hummingbird Feeder. The decorative glass container makes it much harder to see how much nectar is left in your feeder. If you're on the hunt for an effective hummingbird feeder that doubles as an artistic statement, Muse Garden has just the feeder you've been longing for. Since this unique feeder is handmade, each one will look a little different. This gorgeous fade-resistant, hand-blown glass feeder can hold 34 ounces of nectar. A wide, threaded mouth makes for easy cleaning and refilling. The base is composed of metal and plastic, and each component comes apart for cleaning. This sustainable feeder is crafted from recycled materials. As an added bonus, hardware is included to mount this feeder 3 different ways. Not only is this feeder a work of art, but it also has no trouble attracting multitudes of hummingbirds with its bright coloring. If you have a large yard, it's not a bad idea to install a few of these feeders for hummers who are extraterritorial. Some birds do insist on having their own feeder.
Thanks you for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video. If this video is helpful to you, please make sure like, comment and subscribe. If you have any question related to this product, you can leave a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as possible.